we're gonna be replacing the left front CV axle. Let's get started. First thing we wanna do is jack the vehicle up, put it on jack stands, we'll pull our tire off. Next, we wanna remove our axle nut. We're gonna start by unlocking it with some kind of tapered chisel. Sometimes a screwdriver can work, but we're just gonna unlock it with a hammer, bend that metal out of the way. There we go. Now I'm gonna use an impact to buzz this off. If you don't have an impact, we can take a flat screwdriver, put it in between the fins of our rotor, and then with a breaker bar, we can break it loose, and that'll lock the rotor from spinning on us. Let's see what we can do with our impact. It is a 36mm axle socket. Nice. Now we want to make sure our CV axle can move freely inside the knuckle. So just push on it. Oh yeah, there we go. No problem. Sometimes they like to seize. If that happens, you just kind of beat on it. Hopefully that gets it free. If not, if it is completely stuck, then unfortunately you have to purchase a whole new knuckle with a wheel bearing and hub. But ours is free. Let's move on. So this is where we deviate from the manual. The manual has you remove the lower ball joint so we can swing the whole knuckle out of the way. Instead, we're gonna remove the strut. I find that to be a little easier. We have a bolt here for our brake line, 12mm. That'll give us a lot of slack with our brake hose. Let me re-angle you. We have a 10mm wheel speed sensor bracket. And then one more connection point right here on the side of the strut. Also 10mm. That gives us plenty of freedom for that. Now let's remove our strut. It's a 22mm on one side and a 24mm on the other side. Tap the bolts out. There we go. We'll separate our knuckle from our strut. Just pull on it. There we go. I'm gonna go inside and turn the wheel all the way to one side. That'll open up our whole side here and our CV axle will pop out the back. Nice, it opens up this whole side, and as you can see, we still have a lot of slack on our brake hose. So now we'll just push the CV axle through from the front, get a little hammer. There we go, it's all the way through. Just pull it out. Perfect. Now, let's pop it out of the transmission. Underneath the vehicle, we're gonna put our pry bar in between the CV axle and our transmission and pry out on it. I'm gonna try to set you up in a good place so you can see what's happening. Just gonna give it a little tap. There we go. Then we're gonna put just a little pan under here to catch any transmission fluid just in case. And now I'm just gonna pull it out. There we go. I find if you have this side jacked up as high as you can go, you're not gonna spill a lot of transmission fluid. Go ahead and inspect your seal. If you need to, now's the time to replace it. This one looks pretty good. We're gonna take a little bit of new transmission fluid, put it in the cap. We're just gonna rub a little bit of transmission fluid on our splines that we insert into the transmission. Just get some of that, rub it around, get it on the circlip. Gonna rub it right here where that seal goes as well. Just a good lubrication so it slides in just a little easier. Doesn't take a lot. There we go. Now let's install it. Now sliding this in, we just wanna be careful of our seal. I'm gonna go in as straight as possible. We'll turn it a little just to get it all lined up. There we go. We'll feel the splines engage. Now it is important when we put that lubricant on that we don't use an oil lubricant like motor oil or any kind of grease like that. We want it to be transmission fluid. So just a little note. Now we'll push it in until it bottoms out. Get a little tap on this end. Not a lot, just a little to set that circlip. Perfect. That's it, we're locked in. Now we can install it in the knuckle. So on this end, we're gonna use a little bit of anti-seize on the splines. Now we're not gonna put it on the threads, just on the splines. Get it all over the best we can. You don't have to goop it too much. Rub that around. The excess on your hands, you can just wipe off with a rag or put it inside here. There we go. The next little thing we're gonna do is put a little bit of grease just on here on the wheel bearing, all the way around. Just the outside. The manual has us do this for any noise potential. Doesn't take too much, just some dabs. I'll just bend this, put it in the splines. Get them started. Nice, actually that dropped in really good. So I'm just gonna let this kind of hang there. We're gonna turn the wheel back so we're facing straight ahead. Back you up a little. I'll just push this in. Get it lined up with our strut. There we go. Put our bolts in, lift up a little. We'll just put the nuts on, suck them down. We'll get a torque on that in a second. Some people might ask, do I need an alignment after removing the strut bolts? The answer is no, you don't. There are no adjustment points on these strut bolts, so everything will go back together in the exact same position as they came off. With that said, it never hurts to get an alignment, especially if you haven't had one in a while. It's good to just periodically get your alignment checked. Before torquing these, let's get some of our smaller stuff out of the way. We'll put this back on, that's our 12 millimeter, and this is just good and snug. On the side here, we have our 10 millimeter, again, just snug. And the last one, let me reposition you, is up here, 10 mil, and snug. Now let's torque our strut and our spindle nut. The information I have says our struts are torqued to 116 foot-pounds. Throw on our spindle nut. We'll throw our screwdriver in the fins, and this is torqued at 210 foot-pounds. Pull it out. Now we'll take our punch and just lock in that little key. And that is it. Good job. All right, that is it. That's how you can replace the CV axle on your Honda Pilot. All in all, not too bad. The hardest part will just be separating it from the transmission. Because we have that circlip, you just have to give it that right pressure and it'll pop out. The other thing just to keep in mind is the amount of tension we have on that brake hose. For the most part, there's a lot of slack to work with, but we do want to be mindful we don't want to overstress that hose. It can handle a little tension, but not too much. And that's it. Last thing we want to do is just take it for a good spin, hit some parking lots, turn it all the way to one side, all the way to the other side, and we're listening for new noises or any new vibrations. Thanks for watching. I'll have links in the description for all the parts and tools used. If you have any questions, comments, post down below. See you on the next one. High five.